Welcome to Inquiry into Self. So imagine there's an apple tree or two apple trees, and they're both making these wonderful fragrances in their flowers. They're both producing these juicy apples. They both find people and deer and animals coming to them and enjoying the fruit and celebrating under their shade. One of the apple trees actually notices all of this and is enjoying the scents and enjoying the joy, enjoying the juicy crunch as the apples get eaten. And the other apple tree isn't. Now, fundamentally, they're the same. There's not a better apple tree. One is just enjoying what it is, and one is whatever it's doing, not. So, that is the spiritual path. The spiritual path is that we are all expressions of the infinite. We can't be anything else. We just can enjoy noticing what we are or not. That's really all the spiritual path is. It turns out as we go along and discover this that we are, there's some great things that often seem to happen. We tend to stop seeing problems as problems. At least we will notice it's our human conditioning that's making them into a problem. Not really are they a problem. We'll notice that there's so much ease and flow, mostly just because we aren't throwing in all these egoic wants into what was already perfect. And we'll even look out into the world and we'll see that there's an underlying order and love orchestrating everything. Because we can feel what we are and we can feel it expressing out there. Now, these are things that tend to happen. They're not like, okay, we're setting a goal and this is the finish line, but this, it just is the nature of what we are, that these things seem to happen. So the spiritual path is this wonderful adventure of just enjoying what we are, really. And there's so many different tools, but the tool that I'm particularly exploring here is self-inquiry. And I would say it's one of the most overlooked tools because, lots of people try meditation, and that's a great way of shutting down some of the habits that want and grab, and it's a great way of feeling what we are. But if we don't use self-inquiry, there's a big potential that seems to not be as available. And that is in our day-to-day, moment-by-moment lived existence, our conditioning will keep clouding our view. We will think that things are problems. We will think that there's something missing in us or something missing in the world. We'll think that there's a problem. And all of that is just the perspective that our mind has gotten habituated to. And it's self-inquiry that unravels all of that so that once we're feeling this infinite aliveness that we are, we get to actually enjoy it through the rest of our lives. So it's back to those two apple trees. We can be the wonderful, exuberant, full apple tree and not even notice that that's what we are. To our knowledge, I don't want to make anything less. I want to say a little dry piece of grass because it has its own glory too, but you know what I mean. We might not be enjoying the fullness that we are. And self-inquiry is such a great way to dismantle that habit of not noticing what we are and noticing all these conceptual additions. We add concepts of a mistake. There's no such thing as a mistake. There's just what happens. Just like there's no such thing as a weed until you decide that that plant shouldn't be in your yard. Now we call it a weed. But there's no such thing as a weed. There's no such thing as a mistake until we conceptualize that, oh, that shouldn't be in that box. That all of those things are just what our head does. And our thinking can be unraveled with self inquiry. And then we can deepen into discovering this wonderful immensity that we are. So, this channel continues to offer different ways of using that self inquiry to dismantle the conditioning and to make it a more intimate experience to enjoy this alive immensity that we are. So that's the power. One of the powers of self-inquiry. And again, if that's kind of striking a bell for you, then please press like and subscribe.